What's up, everyone? Stos here. And if you guys are here today, obviously you guys are here for some divisional round football. I'm with my boy Carson here today. Big Chiefs fan. Yes. Carson, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm excited to talk some playoff football. And we're actually starting off with your Chiefs here.
Yeah.
This matchup against the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, man, what's your initial thoughts on this game? Obviously, you guys are the big favorites. But Jacksonville, big comeback win against the Chargers, down 27-0.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of, what are you thinking going into this?
So I'm gonna tell you from the fans' perspective right now. Watching that game, watching that comeback, it was pretty good. Honestly, we would much rather play Jacksonville than the Chargers because it seems like every time we face the Chargers, they come out with not a whole different team, but just like the best of the best of what they got. Like Austin Eckler's always on. You know, Justin Herbert, he's always just throwing dimes against the Chiefs defense. I mean, he kind of picks them apart, but seeing that we're going to face Jacksonville this week, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he looked good in that second half. And if we face that the whole game, I don't know. It's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying with the Chargers. It's a divisional matchup if you play the Chargers, and that's a team that knows you guys very well. So I could definitely understand how facing the Chargers could definitely be a little frightening. So I think it's interesting that Jacksonville came back the way they did against the Chargers. Obviously, I think personally the Chargers kind of have a history of having games like that in the past. So I think that plays into it a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's impressive that the Jaguars did come back in that game. But I wanted to ask, do you think that the Chiefs have been kind of flying under the radar this season, despite them being the one seed? I feel like they're not being talked about as much as you would kind of assume, right?
I mean, yes and no. They are the Chiefs, and they have this great record and all, but, it isn't the same Chiefs that won that Super Bowl, you know? We are missing Tyreek, and we have a few, extra pieces now, but it's we've had a couple flat games, man. We lost to the Colts this year, so it does kind of make you nervous going into the playoffs. So, I don't know. Seeing people not really talk about the Chiefs, it's expected, to be honest. I see that happening this year, but, I see the Chiefs still doing good.
Yeah, I think the thing about the Chiefs is, they've been good for so long now, right?
I mean, what?
It's been, 5-6 years.
Are you talking about since
Patrick? Well,
with
obviously, they were good with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, the Chiefs, was this the 7th year in a row? 7th year in a row, I'm pretty sure, that the Kansas City Chiefs have won that division.
Yeah.
The AFC West.
Yeah.
And, Patrick Mahomes, obviously an MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, great player, obviously a generational type of talent. So when you got some guy like that on your team, obviously you're probably going to be a contender most of the time when your quarterback is arguably the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But something I wanted to mention is, as a Chiefs fan, did you realize that this is Patrick Mahomes' most passing yards ever in a season?
Well,
highest completion percentage ever.
That's a better stat that I would look at. If you're talking just total yards, everybody's setting that record this year because there's that extra game.
Well, there was last year too.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, with the addition of that new game, everyone's still breaking these records. But what can you compare the percentage? Do you know what it is right now?
So for this season, completion percentage for Patrick Mahomes, 67.1%.
Okay.
The best he's ever had.
Hey.
The best he had before that would be the previous 2 seasons. Actually, he had 66.3 both those seasons.
Yeah, just a percent right under.
Yeah, so but when you look at the passing yards though, 5,250. So the most he ever threw besides that was for not his rookie season, but basically his real rookie season.
Yeah.
The year he threw 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But in 41 touchdowns this season, passing, second most he's done in the season.
What about the touchdown interception ratio? What is it looking like this year?
He's got 12 interceptions this year, which is the third most he's thrown in or second most he's thrown in a season.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a wild hand this year.
Yeah, he threw more picks last year. He threw 13 last year, 12 this year. So at least he got a little bit better.
And we're just talking regular season. Well, yeah.
Yeah, regular season.
They got the bye.
Yeah, they got the bye. But, I mean, we got to touch on that Jacksonville defense, though, because that's what Patrick Mahomes is going up against. And, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Trevor Lawrence is an X factor in this game, but it comes down to, like, Patrick Mahomes. Like, if Patrick Mahomes is on, you're not beating that Chiefs team.
You want me to give you guys some of the Jacksonville players you should talk about, or no?
Yeah, so
on defense.
So Judah right now, guys, if you watched the last episode, he's kind of like you're basically the producer. I mean, you're helping us figure out how to make this podcast look better. I kind of like how we're out here right now.
Got switched up.
Yeah, it's a little switched up.
Yeah, I'm right here in the reflection.
Wow. And so yeah, Judah, who are some of the players you think on that Jacksonville defense we should kind of look out for?
So you guys know who the number 1 overall pick was last year?
Yep.
Should I get in so you guys can see the mic? I'm not really dressed up, but we got Trayvon Walker, of course. And then we've got Josh Allen on the other side of the edge.
Okay, yeah. That is a bit scary.
Andrew Wingard, not a bad safety at all.
Yeah.
This guy, Judah,
Yeah.
got the Jaguars in the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah,
if you watched the last episode, you know.
Zany
Picks
right
Zany
there.
pick, Jaguars, Vikings.
Yeah, man. Sorry about the Vikings, bud.
Hey, man. You don't have to bring that one up. But, yeah, I mean, I think the Jaguars have a great defense. For me, personally, when it comes to that matchup, it comes down to the fact that if Patrick Mahomes is on, he's on. And that's kind of how I look at it.
That's how I do, too.
If he plays to the best of his capabilities, Jags have no shot. But look, the Jaguars' defense has put them in games all season long, so, I mean, what can you really say?
Yeah.
But moving on to the next game, we got the other 1 seed.
Wait, so you think the Chiefs are going to win?
Oh,
right?
yes,
Oh,
the
okay.
Chiefs.
So double down.
The Chiefs. I got the Chiefs for sure.
Okay, cool.
Sorry if I didn't, verbally say it.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it may have seemed obvious, but...
No, but, I got the Chiefs, and
Yeah.
obviously, Chiefs here, unless you somehow think the Jaguars are...
I mean, nah, Chiefs all the way.
So, the next game that day, the 6:15 game, or I think 6:15 in Arizona time, the Eagles are playing the Giants, the other 1 seed.
Okay, now this is going to be a good
game. So in my previous video, me and Judah gave our beginning of the playoffs Super Bowl prediction, and mine was Eagles-Bills.
Okay.
And yes, I'm going to still obviously stick with my pick with the Eagles against the Giants, but I mean, wow, that game against the Vikings, they moved the ball so fast, it felt like. It felt like the Vikings would go down on their scoring drives, take about 6-7 minutes to get in the end zone, but the Giants would get the ball, and they'd do the same thing in 2 to 3 minutes. And it was multiple drives that were like that.
I mean, you were literally seeing Danny Dimes. That was Danny Dimes and his... He was looking great out there.
I might have to pop it up here for you guys. But there was a guy at the game that had a huge Danny dime. It was a huge dime.
Yeah, dude.
And it had Danny's face on it and stuff. I thought that was hilarious. I saw that thing go viral or whatever. But, I mean, the Giants could definitely beat this Eagles team. I think that's something I want to emphasize about this. Despite me taking the Eagles, if the Giants win, I'm not shocked. They looked good. But at the end of the day, the reason why the Eagles are the favorite for me is look, they're the 1 seed. They were not undefeated. They were undefeated for a while, but they had that 1 loss, I think around week 10 or 11. Yeah. And then, I mean, they didn't lose again until Hurts went down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's despite the fact that Hurts is young, and you could try to argue,
he's not 100% either.
Yeah, I mean, he's not 100%, I guess you could say right now. But if you want to argue that he's a system quarterback, I mean, the team has still done so good every time he's on the field.
Oh, yeah.
The team's done well. And I think the reason why they're the favorite is because, I mean, their O-line's spectacular.
Yeah.
They have great wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
The running game's not bad. And then on defense, they have a great defense as well. And it's the Giants are going to have to play out of their minds back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, they have to play exactly like they did last week.
Is that how you, what do you think about it?
The game, honestly, I'm taking the Giants this game, man. To be honest, if they played how they did last week, they're going to probably catch the Eagles on their heels. like you were just saying, Hurts
Yeah.
isn't 100%. You know, like he just got done with that injury, so like I don't think he's gonna be so mobile. I mean, but you're still gonna see him be mobile. He's pretty damn good at it. So, other than that, I mean, I see the Eagles defense just not sticking up against like Saquon and Danny Dimes, man. I mean,
Yeah, and I think
even though the wide receiver,
Dimes.
yeah, dude,
He's a different animal.
Like, the thing is they really don't even have the best wide receiving core. Like it's not the greatest.
They don't.
What
They
Darius Slayton? I can't even name.
Isaiah Hodgins.
Yeah, I mean,
Dog.
they are still. I mean, they are dogs, but they aren't like.
Don't forget about Kenny Galladay.
I mean, yeah.
It's
See,
like-
here we got the freaking.
What I would say about the Giants and the Eagles is the only way I could really see the Eagles losing is like it's noticeable that Hurts isn't there. You know what I mean? It's like first drive and it's like
Exactly.
something's off.
Exactly.
And then from there the momentum rides with New York.
I bet you 6 to 8 minutes into the game, I bet you can see who the winner is of the game.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like I think it's most likely going to go that way. I do believe it's probably going to be a high-scoring game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Ooh, no, I definitely
You think it's going to be low-scoring?
No, I definitely agree with you that it's going to be a high scoring. I mean, I say that it's going to be at least upper 20s to lower 30s.
Yeah, that's
mean,
what I
like,
was thinking.
Both teams. I mean, it's going to be a close game for sure.
Yeah. I think the thing with the Eagles is, or with Jalen Hurts primarily, is it's possible, though, that they rested him an extra good amount of time. Like, it's possible
Very
that he actually could have maybe played in Week 18 or something, but they just wanted to sit him out, rest him longer. And it's like, obviously, his injury has been kind of bad for the fact that he sat out this long, kind of like how Lamar was, even though Lamar didn't end up coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think overall, I mean, I'm gonna go Eagles. Are you going Giants?
Yeah, I am
You're
going Giants. I am going
And
Giants.
if the Eagles weren't, I'll say this: if the Eagles weren't my Super Bowl prediction, I'd go Giants too. I think
Fair enough.
after seeing what they did in Wild Card Weekend, like
It's hard to go against what you already
it
predicted.
is. I think
so.
here's the thing, and some people like to say the Vikings are frauds, and I'm not going to go say that the Vikings are frauds, but yes, the Vikings, they weren't, what's the word? They weren't obviously the best team in the NFL, but I think they also just caught a bad break. Like, the Giants, that's the best the Giants looked all season. I'll say that flat out. I think that's probably the Giants' best game all season.
Yeah.
And it came at the perfect time.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. Are they like a playoff team?
yeah, that's what it
Exactly.
feels like, and it's like you can say the Vikings are frauds all you want, and maybe they are, but it's like they did catch an unlucky break. That was great football from the New York Giants.
Yeah. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I really don't think the Vikings are that good.
I don't either, but I'm just saying, like, what are the odds that it happens to the Vikings as well? That the Giants literally play their best game of the season.
I mean, very, very true. It could happen again.
It could. I don't know if...
Okay, let me just say something. Everyone's probably going to think that I'm lying, but I remember earlier this season, and the Commanders, they were looking good. They were looking pretty decent for, like, in, middle to late season. And I don't know about the Eagles, but they were kind of just looking flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was talking to my boss at work, and I was like, I don't know why, but I wouldn't be surprised if an upset happened tonight. And that's exactly what happened. So, man, if I call this right here, I'll just be completely shocked. Because, 2 upsets against what people think the team that's going to win it this year? I mean...
But here's the thing, like, I think I agree with you. Like, I think a lot of people, though, are thinking the same thing a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the Giants, like, they played that good. It's like you have to almost...
No, you
have to give them some credit. Yeah,
you
like,
got to respect them a little
you
bit.
can't call... After what the Giants did... I'll just put it this way, and then we'll move on to the next matchup. After what the Giants did last week, you can't call someone crazy for picking them over the Eagles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, They look great.
Yeah, you can't argue with me for saying that.
Oh,
They're gonna win.
not at all.
Yeah.
And moving on to the last 2 matchups of the divisional round, the Sunday matchups. We got the Bengals and the Bills, the first matchup, which, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's the best matchup of the weekend because I think that honestly might be the Cowboys and the 49ers game. But, like, Come on, dude. We got some like great matchups this week.
The whole weekend is great football. Like if you're a football fan and you're not watching, I'm sorry, all these games, and you're not a football fan.
And
I mean, it's a great weekend to watch the NFL.
And it's like the Jaguars-Chiefs game to me is obviously the least enticing game when you look at the matchups, and it's like that game could still be like a neck and neck game that turns out great.
It could.
You know what I mean? So it's like all four of these games are going to be great. Let's go into this Bills-Bengals game back over to the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Just talked about the Giants and the Eagles. You took the Giants.
Yeah.
Took the underdog in that one.
I did.
So are you taking the underdog here?
I think these are two equal teams in my eyes.
Yeah, and I think we saw that in the short amount of time that we got to watch them play each other. Like, it was 7-3. I mean, both teams, they went down. They were able to score. Obviously, the Bills with the field goal. Bengals with the touchdown. But, like, we know this is going to be a good matchup. When you think of the AFC, let's be honest. When you think of the AFC right now, the three teams you think of are Chiefs, Bills, Bengals. Let's be real.
Yeah.
That's the three big dogs in the AFC.
So who would you think of fourth?
If the team at 4 that I would actually think of,
yeah,
I'm gonna be real. It's gonna be the Ravens, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
because the Ravens are legit, man. The Bengals beat the Ravens by 7 with Huntley, dude.
Yeah.
With Huntley.
Not this year though, but like. Titans is just what was number 4. I mean, just like the past couple years.
Did they have the 1 seed last year? Technically.
Yes.
Like
that's
not technically they did.
They did.
I get.
There's nothing technical about it.
Okay.
Well, it's technical because it's shocking.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. But bro, Derrick Henry, man, that dude is a beast. But anyways, okay, off topic.
2,000 yards last season. Man.
Bringing it back to this game that's going on tonight. You said, or going on Sunday. Is it what time's the game? I'm sorry.
The game. So for all of you guys here watching, I'm pretty sure this is. Is it 6:15 Arizona time?
No, we're talking about the first game on Sunday.
No, it's 4:30.
Yeah, but I'm saying
it's 4:30.
Well, that's the Cowboys-Niners.
Oh, it's 1:30. 1:30.
The Bills-Bengals game says it's at 1, but I don't know what time.
Oh, it's 1.
What are we talking? Are you talking New York?
No, it's 1:30 Arizona. If it's Arizona, it's 1 o'clock. It's the morning. It's the afternoon game.
Yeah, this is on Mountain Standard Time. So Bills-Bengals, if you were in Arizona, which I mean, it's very possible that you're probably not.
But who knows?
Yeah, if you're in Arizona, which doesn't even do daylight savings or whatever, it's just a whole mess. The Bills-Bengals game is at 1, so sorry about that confusion. If you're in California, that means the game's at 12. If you're on the East Coast, the game's at 3. And if you're somewhere in Kansas City, where Carson is from, it would be at 2, right?
What time is the game for us? 1?
1, yeah, so it would be at 2, right?
2. Midwestern time.
Hey.
Central.
So we got it, okay? I hated when they did that to all our kids' shows when we were kids, man. You never knew what time stuff was at.
Yeah.
Always did the
How I knew it is that, like, I was always the second one. It'd be like 5-4 Central or something weird. And I'd be like, I'm the second one.
I saw that every time as a kid and just gave up. Yeah. Never understood it. But yeah, so, I mean, I got the Bills. Who are you taking in this one?
Shoot, man. Depending on, like, really how it goes, like, I really don't have much to say on this game because I think it's a flip of a coin. But I think I'm just going to go with what everybody else is saying. I think it's going to be the Bills. I think the Bills are just going to end up winning.
The Bills are my Super Bowl pick because I just feel like
Josh Allen is a freak, dude.
Yeah, they've been great every single season. These past 4 years, 3 years.
I mean, yeah.
And, I mean...
He's been in Patty's shadow, no offense. But
he has, and it's like, this is the year where I really could see him kind of, like, breaking through.
Hopefully not.
Now, I'm going to be real. I don't see the Bengals going back to another Super Bowl for some reason. I just
get
don't
that
see
feeling
them
too.
winning 3 playoff games.
O-line's in shambles.
Yeah.
Starting guard, starting tackle ruled out.
That's the reason they lost the Super Bowl. So, I mean, their O-line was genuinely the reason the Bengals did not beat the Rams last season. I mean, we saw the last play of the game, Jamar Chase wide open, but Donald got there too quick.
So shoot, man. So what you're saying is,
I think
it's in. Oh yeah, I heard that they're all practicing indoors so far.
Yeah, and
it's going to be outside and it's
cold.
going to be snowing.
Yeah,
I heard they're going to get some snow. So I mean,
Buffalo's getting snow.
Buffalo though, like those players can deal with that.
The Bills, yeah,
and the Bills players can too, but like it's not Buffalo.
Yeah, it's not. No, Cincinnati's not Buffalo, and Cincinnati gets real cold. But
let me chime in real quick, Carson. Just so you know, this is the first year the Bengals have had an indoor practice facility. Just wanted to make that fact known.
Yeah.
See, this is also why we got Judah here, because like that's a random fact,
and he knows it for no reason.
That is a good fact to know.
He reminds me of my friend Chase Killian back at home. Shout out to Chase. He knows everything for no reason. He is literally Google, but you don't have to pick up your phone, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like back to the Bills. Also, I don't. Like, I'm personally someone, I don't know if you would agree with this, but I really feel like when something like that happens to a team, the whole DeMar Hamlin thing, like, I really believe that lights a fire under a team.
Dude, yeah.
Like, I truly believe that.
Yeah.
And, like, what happened to him was so sad and, like, so, like, difficult to watch if you were watching that live. And honestly, like, the Bills, they've been so close to getting over the hump. And this season, I feel as if they've proven that they can beat like some of the best teams. And I think like just that happening on top of it, like it only lights a fire under those guys. So I'm going to go with the Bills. I think Josh Allen and that offense with Stephon Diggs and honestly even like
Dawson Knox
yeah, and
starting to become a little bit more like active in that offense. They really didn't use him much this season.
I'm going to be real. I feel like the Devin Singletary thing and Zach Moss thing, it's like it's kind of working.
I mean,
it's not terrible. It's not awful.
It's similar to what's going on in Dallas.
It's just not as great.
I mean, it's not as great, and it's not as dramatic, and it's not as there's not as much stories going on around it. It's not as much talk going on about it. So, I also agree with you. I think the Bills are going to do it. Like we were just talking about, Cincinnati's offense really isn't there. It isn't the same offense that it has been, at the offensive line at least. And I think the Bills, like at home, they're gonna find ways to get through and just. I bet you the Bills have at least 3 sacks. To be honest,
3 sacks? Yeah, certainly. I mean, I would maybe mess around and say like. 5. Yeah. I mean, the Bills are in a snow game. There's going to be a lot of sacks.
I wonder how much passing is actually going to go on.
That's the thing. If it's snowing that hard, it's not going to be much passing. And then at the end of the day, I mean, they do got Joe Mixon, but how much does that matter when your O-line is that banged up? So.
Exactly. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And, I mean, we're going back to the NFC here. Everybody in the world knows what matchup this is. Okay, not actually, but Cowboys-Niners.
Yes.
I think this is, at first glance, if you're looking at the matchups, I think you got to say that's probably the most intriguing one.
Yeah, in your opinion. I'm really interested in watching that Bills-Bengals game.
I agree with you. I think I'm a little biased because I was at the Cowboys-Niners game last year, the wild card game.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, like, seeing Dak Prescott and that team trying to get that spike down, like, live was one of the craziest moments, like, ever for me. And, like, that stadium holds 100,000 people close to it. And,
pretty insane.
Like, the amount of Niners fans there, first of all, Niners fans travel better than any fans in the NFL.
Yep. I always bring up that Mexico City game, bro. It was insane. They're playing the Cardinals, man. It was literally like they were playing at home. It was weird.
It's crazy because I would say at that Dallas game, you could argue there were a little bit more Niners fans than Cowboys fans. I'm being for real. There was that much red there. But
I see it happening again. It's at home.
The stadium erupted when that happened, and I thought that game was such a good game. So I'm really looking forward to this rematch. I'm gonna take the Cowboys in this one. It's such a toss up for me, but yeah, you could say the Bucs aren't the same Bucs that they were when they won the Super Bowl, which they're not, or even last year.
No.
But
that
you're playing Tom Brady in the playoffs, and I think that means something. And Dak Prescott showed that he may not be an elite quarterback, but I think he's pretty dang good.
I mean, when Dak is playing his best, that man is lethal.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want to face him. But I've talked to so many Cowboys fans this year, and there have been so many weeks where they're like just absolutely like just destroyed with how the Cowboys have played. Well, how Dak had played. I mean, can you pull up some stats right now? And it's like
15 interceptions, and he missed 5 games.
Jeez.
I think it might have been more than that.
Well, anyways, Dak hasn't had.
But
his
I
best
want to say
year.
something. I mean, I think a lot of people, if you've watched anything on the Cowboys, a lot of those picks are not Dak's fault. I'm putting that out there.
You could say that about
now.
any quarterback
No.
in the league.
Yeah.
No. I'm not a Cowboys fan. Like, go watch the clips. There's been multiple picks this season, like more than it is normal, where his receiver should have caught the ball and it winded up being an interception. I'm just being honest. Like the one where they literally lost the game to the Jaguars, that was in Noah Brown's hands, and he literally it hit his chest, bounced up, and it was a pick six. Like.
Yeah.
Like, there's been multiple situations like that, in my opinion.
Yeah. There have been a lot of those, but there have been those just like out of pocket, just him just throwing it kind of right to the other team.
Judah was on point, though. It's 15, and that's actually the most he's ever thrown.
How many games did he miss?
You said 5, so
You
that
said
means he played
5.
12, right?
I'm not sure how many games he missed. He missed, I believe he played 12. Yeah, dude, he missed 5
Go to
games.
statnews.com, bro. You can type in any question, any stat, and it will have it immediately. Look it up. It's so cool.
No, I know a stat music. I'm just on the ESPN little app right now,
But
looking
man,
through all of the stats.
That team that the 49ers have been cooking up this year, like, I'm not a huge Brock Purdy guy. Like, I'm not going to say I was praying on his downfall, but I was waiting for him to have a bad game. Like, and he hasn't had it. But
He's had a few games where he didn't look great.
Well, yeah, but people think he's literally going to be Tom Brady.
Well, first of all, he's not going to be Tom Brady, dude.
I don't think he's going to be Tom Brady, but I do want to say that team is crazy good. They have players everywhere. Everywhere you look, they're just studs. Like, I mean, bro, they got CMC, Christian McCaffrey. That man's a beast.
Yeah. I remember when the Panthers did that trade, and my initial reaction was like, what are they doing?
Throwing their team in the garbage.
I mean,
that's what it was.
yeah, they did get a good amount of picks, but it's like, dude, that's one of the most valuable players in the league, in my opinion. Like, Christian McCaffrey is literally like a game changer.
Absolute dog.
And the Niners, the thing is like, I don't want to say the cliche, like, Brock Purdy's a system quarterback, but like as of right now, like with all we've seen, like he is just in the perfect situation that he could be in. Like, you know, like
I mean, yeah, he has a great team around him. That's all I'm saying.
What do you think about the defense of the Niners or the defense of the Cowboys? How do you think that affects this game?
Shoot, man, like defensive, they got a really good like defensive back setup going on for them, in my opinion. It's not like
you talking about the Niners or the Cowboys?
I mean, both, honestly. But the Cowboys, they got Diggs, and I mean, they got freaking Micah Parsons. I know that's not DB, but bro, that dude is crazy. That dude is a beast. Like, honestly, if I was lined up against him, but also, big enough to be in the NFL, I would be asking my coach if I could take a play out, because that guy would be just put me on my butt. Like, no matter what, man, that guy would just find a way to get past me.
I feel the same way about like Nick Bosa.
Oh my god, but he's a dog too, bro.
Yeah, and here's the thing: it's like the reason what I want to touch on about the Niners defense, because Micah Parsons, is he gonna win DPOY this year?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes. I think so. I mean, if he doesn't, I'm gonna be slightly upset, and I'm not even a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Because he's a great player. I like great players. Like, he's a great player.
And the thing is like, you got Nick Bosa on the other end for the Niners, and you got all these defensive weapons that the Niners have. And something that I kind of want to touch on, because obviously we know the Niners, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league, if not arguably the best defensive team in the league.
Yeah.
I think the Niners are like the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL.
No, yeah.
I believe. And
if not 1, they're like 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're 1. And kind of what I wanted to touch on is just how I feel this game goes is if the Cowboys commit to the run too much, it's over. Because look, like the Cowboys have to air it out to beat this team.
I was gonna say this game is in Dak's hands.
Yeah, because look, if Dak plays the best to his abilities, I don't think Brock Purdy could outduel him.
No.
And what people need to realize is that you're gonna have to run the ball with Zeke and Pollard in order to. What is this?
This man brought the stat sheet.
Dak's interception game calculation.
And then there's, if you include the playoffs, it's 1.153.
So he throws about 1 pick a game, a little over a pick a game.
No, he throws 5
picks
in 4 games. That's not good. I wouldn't want that.
For this season?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, yes, I realize that, but you also have to realize how many of those picks, there's at least probably 4 or 5 that weren't
Maybe you should have figured that out before you did your podcast.
Okay.
Figure that out. I'm telling you right now, there's 4 or 5
podcast.
picks.
We can figure it out live.
There's 4 or 5
Do it
picks.
live.
There's 4 or 5 picks. I explained the Jaguars one to you in Noah Brown's chest. Like, come on, man. But
okay, I'm gonna just say it right now. I have the 49ers.
Yeah,
I have the 49ers.
And I'm taking the Cowboys, and the reason I'm taking the Cowboys is just because I think they're the underdog in this situation, but I think they played great against the Bucs. Dak looked the best he has all season. Obviously, he's going to have to replicate that again. But at the same time, like, you could say that game from last season's creeping in the back of their mind, but also it could be fuel to the fire. And, I mean, the Cowboys, they got to want this, right? Like, they got the first ever, like, road victory in the playoffs for them since the 90s. Like, you know the team wants it.
Pretty insane.
And I think what I was trying to say when it came to the running game is, yeah, you're going to have to use Zeke and Pollard to open up the passing game, and you're going to have to kind of eat away at the Niners defense and keep them on their feet, not knowing what's coming. But, I mean, the second you're running the ball on first down, getting maybe 2 yards, getting stuffed on second down, and now it's 3rd and 8, you can't be putting Dak in that situation at the beginning of every drive.
No.
To where it's so easy to have a 3 and out. And I think that's the way that Dak fails in this situation. I think that's the way that you don't set him up for success. You need to find the easy screen passes, the easy check downs, the easy slants that are going to get those chunks of yards. Because at the end of the day, I think where the Cowboys probably struggle is when they don't get anything going at the beginning of their drives, and it almost just becomes stagnant for the entire game.
Yeah, which you've seen a couple of those games this year.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, you got the game against the Vikings, for example. I don't know the exact amount they won by, but it was like 40-something points, right?
I mean, yeah.
It was something crazy like that. Like, I could look up the score right now. But that just goes to show how much of a firepower offense this Cowboys team has while also just playing elite defense. Like, they gave up a field goal to the Vikings in the first quarter, and the final score was 40-3. Excuse me.
What week was that?
This was November 20th, so like the week before Thanksgiving. So probably what was it not saying the week? Oh, week 11. Week 11.
That game right there was kind of when I was like, yeah, the Vikings aren't in.
That's I knew that too.
Yeah.
I knew that too. You can't
put up 3 points in a game.
Also, despite them coming back against that Colts team, like, how are you down that much to the Colts in the first place?
That was a
crazy game. It was a spectacular comeback. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, dude, that Colts team is pretty awful.
Like, and they beat the Chiefs, so I have a personal grudge against them.
Yeah, I remember, so me and Carson watched that game, that Chiefs-Colts game at the very beginning of the season, and it was actually, it was the Chiefs' first loss of the year?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I just remember how upset Carson was upset about that loss for I would say 3 weeks. It stung him.
Oh well, yeah.
2 or 3 NFL weeks.
I wasn't too butthurt about it.
No, not butthurt, but I would talk to him because I think they would have still been undefeated. So it was just dude, how is your guys' one loss to the Colts?
Yeah, no, it's hard to say. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing to lose to them.
I will say that was Matt Ryan's best game of the year, though.
Yeah.
He didn't have
him.
Yeah, but
good for Matty Ice. But dude, the Chiefs definitely should have won that game, and it's those games right there that kind of freak me out. That's.
Yeah.
You already talked about your Super Bowl predictions last week.
That's why I was literally just before we end the show, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What's your Super Bowl prediction?
Okay, man. I mean, it's hard for me to say any team other than the Chiefs. I mean, I'm confident in my boys.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta go with the hometown dogs.
And obviously you got the Chiefs winning it all, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Who are they beating in the Super Bowl?
Dude, honestly, I see the Chiefs taking on the 49ers.
Really?
Yeah, I see it being a Chiefs-49ers little
rematch.
Yep, I see it happening again.
You see them just taking it from them again as well?
I hope so. I can't really predict that one, man. It's I want the Chiefs to win, but I try to be unbiased as possible, but it's not that same Chiefs.
I want to ask you one last thing.
Okay.
What did you think about that Super Bowl win, though? The Niners blew that bad.
Oh, I mean, we were supposed to lose. Everyone in the room with me was losing their mind.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Literally, we were throwing our drinks everywhere. It in my buddy's parents' living room. It was hilarious, honestly. We were just it was great.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. But Carson, thanks for coming on the show.
Man, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Judah was here with the production stuff.
Thank you, Judah, for the statistics as well. Because I'm not the best with knowing everybody in the league.
I'm a lot better with that. With when it comes to the NBA, man. I'll be able to talk about it like that. I mean, I love football, man. But Judah, Judah's one of those guys that will literally know those little stats in the NFL. It's just
whole rosters, just studies them and wakes up the next day.
You guys know who the Jaguars' 7th round pick was in 2009?
No.
It's no, I don't.
Blake Bortles.
I don't even know what Blake Bortles is drafted, dude. But
I do want to say thank you for having me on the podcast and let me just
of course,
speak a little bit of words. The Chiefs fan, where we're coming from the Chiefs kingdom and what Kansas City's thinking right now, but we got T-Pain performing our halftime show. So
heck yeah, dude! T-Pain, come on, bro.
GEHA Stadium.
King of Autotune.
Yeah. All right, bro.
But thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys liked season 1, episode 2 here on Dos Stos. Starting kind of a new little thing where I'm gonna be posting every single Saturday. Obviously, these first few episodes, we're really going to be talking NFL football. I mean, it's the playoffs in the NFL. It's one of the most relevant things in sports right now. I mean, I love football. I think a lot of people love football. So we're going to just keep talking about the playoffs until that's over.
Yep.
But, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys back here when we know the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship matchups.
Yes, sir.
Hit him with the little salute, man.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah.
Thank you,
guys.